them!
Look out!
Yeah, so that was the idea. Anyway, hey there hunters, and welcome. Today I wanted to talk about my recent build in Path of Exile, which is Popcorn Zombies, or Bombies as I like to call them. I've always wanted to make a detonate zombies build kind of a thing, and there's always been some sort of mechanic that's been standing my way. And every few leagues we get like one step closer though. And I finally made it work, sorta. So I want to talk about the build, what's good, what's bad, and what I need help improving on because I'm not that great at Poe. So grab some wine and bear with my rambles please as we discuss the Bombies build. First thing that would come to mind is, why zombies? I mean, Popcorn SRS and Skelly has been a thing for a long time. Why bother with zombies? Well, because zombies. I like zombies. I don't know. I want to have exploding zombies, okay? Like, it was just like a thing that I wanted for a long time. Popcorn Skellies and SRS has been great, but they also been nerfed pretty good, like in the past couple leagues with the removal of elemental equilibrium. And typically people don't use popcorn on them anymore. Like you have mages and just standard SRS, which are pretty decent. So I figured the only good way to do explodey minion instability stuff is to just do zombies. I mean, we have minus 50 fire res from not having, elemental equilibrium. I figured, bigger booms would fix the build. Zombies naturally have higher life, and their instability hits for 3 to 4 times more than an SRS would. Now with Awakened Unleash, I could feasibly drop 5 or 6 zombies on a boss every 2 seconds or so, which would blow up for about 5 million damage. Seemed great on paper, and that was the entire idea for the build. So what enabled this build to work this league is the new Ashes of the Stars amulet, which is super overpowered by the way. 30% quality on all skill gems is insane. So with that, the anomalous zombies now have 50% quality, which lets them take 50% of their HP as chaos damage over the first second when they spawn. This lets us hit minion instability as low life because it's 50% now since the blood magic changes. Of course, it still doesn't quite cut it. Minions do have 20 chaos resistance, so it's not quite enough for them to pop. So I grabbed the Fortress Covenant Jewel and used it here on the passive tree, which now makes these 2 nodes cause my minions to take 40% more damage, which is now enough damage to get my zombies to pop. So mechanically, it just works easy now. Like, no longer do we need Infernal Legion, which saves us a gem slot to make even bigger booms. We can also run Purity of Elements for ourselves since we don't want to interfere with the booms with all that elemental resistance and all that stuff. So some other cool mechanics is that because we run Akuna's Will, our zombies don't need corpses to spawn, so we can just drop them wherever we want. And they also count as corpses now. So with Corpse Pact, we get 50% more life on our zombies, which is great, right? It's great. And it causes enemies by the zombies to be shocked and chilled. So we get shock damage, and we can run Hypothermia for more damage. The playstyle is just simplified too. So like, you don't need to do anything but drop a zombie and walk. It blows up and it clears enemies. So the big question is, does the build work? Can it map? Can it boss? And yes, but that's also where I'm having issues and I would like some help. So the build works, and let me tackle these one thing at a time and kind of explain how the build functions. So our gem and gear setup is really straightforward. Our gear is basically just, all the uniques that are required to make the build function. And then we have a fancy, minion helmet just so we can run 2 different zombie setups. And then we have suppression gear because spell suppression is overpowered. We are currently running 5 auras: Determination, Purity of Elements, Defiance Banner, Tempest Shield, and Skitterbots. Everything should be pretty obvious as to why we use it. We have Profane Proxy for our Skitterbots to deliver our Flammability Curse, so that's one less thing I have to manage. Plus, we're already shocking and chilling anyway. We do have Support Specters as the Pale Seraphims so that they inflict their 15% damage debuff on bosses, and I have a Stone Golem for some life regen. And that's pretty much it. We have 2 active skills for zombies. Now the chess piece has our mapping zombies. It's linked to Minion Life, Combustion, Ignite Proliferation, Hypothermia, and Cruelty. Apparently Cruelty hits counts for minion instability. I mean, POB says it does at least, but I can swap that for burning damage or fire pen if needed. But I'm using Cruelty for now. Now this is zombies for clearing, and we literally just have to drop 1 at a pack, let it blow up, and the Ignite Proliferation kind of does its job. Divergent Flammability with the Ashes of Stars gives us 75% chance to ignite alone, so we pretty much always ignite, we don't need a crit. And the POB says that Ignite DPS is about 500k, not including the pop, just the fire dot. And it does clear fairly well. I mean, it works. I don't have too much problems mapping. Zombies does still have a slow cast time, but other than that, it pretty much pops every pack that I come across. Now for bossing, We have the helmet, which is a +3 minions helmet with hypothermia and minion life. And then we have zombies linked to Fire Pen, Conk Effect, and Unleash. The idea is to just drop like 5 zombies on a boss and have it pop for about 1 million damage per zombie, and then just keep dropping zombies. On paper, seemed like a good idea, and for most map bosses, it just does that. It's easy. You drop a pack of zombies, if it's not dead, drop another one. And that usually does the trick. However, Guardians, Shaper, Elder, Conquerors, and all those actual bosses take way too long. And it really starts the show. Like, the cast speed is really bad on zombies. It's 0.85 seconds by default, and it feels bad to drop, wait, etc. And even the biggest issue I've had is that with Conk Effect, if the boss moves at all, the pops are gonna miss. So I'm gonna have to swap that for something else. I'm not sure though, but that's not gonna save the damage of the build though. Overall, the build does work, and I feel like it can be made into a solid bosser with the right tweaks. Like, I don't know, maybe some more support specters or some more debuff application. I'm just not that sure or not that knowledgeable on Poe to figure out what I can do to fix it. I can't run Animate Guardian because I have no minion life regeneration stuff, and I have no real way to heal my minions because that would interfere with my zombies. Now, the main problem with this build is actually not the defenses either. I know the life is super low, but I will get to about 4.4k with like 3 more levels as I'm actively filling in the life and ES node right now. Even now, I can run maps like, T16s without dying, no problem. I'm sitting at 70-75 block and spell block with glancing blows, with a life percent regen shield, and 77% spell suppression, which will get to 100 if I keep leveling up. I have 18k armor with flasks up and Defiance Banner Determination. I have full elemental ailment immunity thanks to Purity of Elements. Like, it's pretty smooth on defenses. What I'm struggling with is just a couple other niche things. First is that the mapping is good. It's not great, but I feel like if I had Barracks or Spite for Ignite Chains, that would be a bit better for the mapping. Unfortunately though, I can't get rid of my other Unset Ring right now because it has all the stats I need for my build. So that's kind of a bummer there. Cast speed would also help the zombies too, and I have a 31% cast speed wand since I don't need triggers, which is great, but it's not enough. Either of those would probably help my clear speed tremendously. Mana is also an issue though. I have Eldritch Battery to fix that, but I would prefer to have that on my life as a buffer. But zombies cost 120 to 150 mana to drop, and no amount of clarity or mana nodes was fixing that and helping me sustain it, so I had to just throw on Eldritch Battery. And lastly is, of course, the boss damage, which is pretty awful. I wish we had Elemental Equilibrium back, and I know I could get better if I had like Unleashed to 4 seals and got some more gem levels in, but I don't feel like it's going to get that much better with my current setup. Maybe I can change around a passive tree or change cluster nodes or something, but my lack of experience really kicks in. I don't know how to get more damage out of this build. But that's pretty much it though. I want to fix this build. I'm not sure what to do though. If anyone has ideas, please let me know. I'll leave the POB below. You can yell at me on Discord or Twitch or Twitter or something, but I would really like to fix this build. It's always been a dream of mine to have a zombie popping build, but I just can't get it to work right now. But that's all for me. Thank you all for watching, and good luck out there, hunters.